Hi, I'm David Lee. Today we're going to move our hips, we're going to move our shoulders, we're going to make everything feel good, gentle opening, work on your balance. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I know, it's funny times, weird times, people are getting tired of this, and nobody knows what's happening. Oh my God. So what do we do in the face of all of this? What's going on? This uncertainty. It's going to be whatever it is, folks. So just relax and take your mind off it. And we're going to start with some movement. So we're going to start with a warm-up. Today we're going to start actually with this. That's a good way to just ease in, get the joints moving. So to get some, rub your hands together. Yeah, just like rub them together. Not really hard, not like that. I mean, you can if you want, but just notice that the softer you are, the more sensitivity you have. Thank you to you people who have been sending contributions. It's lovely. It makes a huge difference, and I really appreciate it. So it's a growing number, and I really feel supported. So thanks anyway. So here. So if you haven't seen this before, slowly is good anyway. The hand comes around and behind from the side. The hand comes around and behind. The hand comes around and behind. People feel awfully uncoordinated, I know. And so this is not easy for a lot of people to figure out how to do this. And the first time I tried to do this wasn't so easy for me. But just here from behind, see, close up, around and behind. This is a good thing to do in the morning. This starts to get sensitivity in your hands. Your mind starts to turn inward from this. Your palms are going. The cat is crying outside, hungry. I'll back up so the top of my face isn't cut off. Anyway, just do this for a little while. Tracing the meridians next. So the back of the hand, up over the shoulder, down the inside, up the outside, down the inside, up the outside. So this turns the shoulder. Notice this hand doesn't move. I'm not doing that. I'm just using the arm that I'm gliding on to move my hand. So there's not a lot of movement. And this gives me a chance to move that shoulder, right? Turn the elbow over, get some freedom and movement going in my shoulder. Perhaps I'm talking too much. Not counting, just feeling. The softer you go, the more you feel. The softer you go, the more you feel. A hard lesson for many of us. So we want to go hard, so go slow. Feel the shoulder turn, feel the elbow, feel your hand running on your arm. So this is stimulating the whole body, if you let it. The softer you are, I can feel this all the way down into my feet when I do this. Subtle movements, the joints opening and closing. couple more. We'll do some more in a minute. Actually, we'll do some now. So, come down, come around, come down, go around your feet, the top of your feet, come up the inside, stay here, come around, stay on your kidneys for a breath, come down, over the top of your feet, up the inside. So we're going to just feel let the softness happen. So you're just sticking inside. You're not rubbing, you're just letting your body do the movement. I'm getting caught in my microphone wire, excuse me. To fix it. Keep going. I'll put it away in my pocket, it'll be easier. Okay, we'll try that. Yes. Better. Instead of clipped. So just let this be soft. Just let your head go when you do this. So just come down, let your head be soft. You don't have to look up. It's not changing. Just dragging your hands. You're just dragging your hands. Not a lot of effort. Movement's all in your waist. Rounding your spine, getting the spine moving. Okay. So the hips. We're going to start with this hip and knee thing. This leg, your right leg, if I'm mirroring you, is going to stay straight. My hands are going not on my waist, like just sitting on my thighs. And I'm turning around this leg. So this leg is almost locked. And I'm using my shoulder and my elbow to make this movement. Can you see my feet? So I'm just this is opening the hip joint, deep in the hip joint, stretching the low back, working the ball of the foot, massaging the bottom of the foot, the ankle, turning from the elbow, right? So the elbow is guiding the movement. Slow it down. And feel the length, pull your tailbone down. The whole spine gets long as you come around and push the standing leg into the floor. Lengthening your spine. Top of the head is growing. Side. So, pushing down into the floor, we're rotating around that hip. Training the internal and external rotation, but it's not this leg that we're training as much as it's the standing leg. That's where the work is. Everything else is easy and soft. And the tailbone pulls down towards the heel as the top of the head rises up to the ceiling. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, because you feel more when you go slow. We have a habit of running through the warm-up. But what's the difference between the warm-up and the rest of it? It's all, you know, rather than forms, these are generally exercises to open your body. And forms kind of come and go, and you can adapt all of this stuff to forms. When your body is open, then it doesn't matter what form you decide to do. If you decide to do a form every day, your body's ready to accept it because the foundation has been built, the groundwork has been done. So the knees, I know this is really hard for some people because I've had messages about this. So just go soft. Try to make it soft. Try to not make this hard. And feel your balance. This I'll count. I'll try to anyway. 12. 7. 8. Neck be long. 9. 10, spine long, 11, 12. Take a break and go the other way. 1, 2, 3. It's okay to challenge your balance a little bit. 4. Keep it soft though. 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. So the knees are going that way and making a circle. 12. Okay, so now lengthen. Lengthen your low back. So if your low back is not long, make it long. Pull your tailbone towards your heels. Top of the head towards the front of the room. And breathe. And don't push, just see if you can just lengthen and relax, but continue to lengthen. So now we're going to go down and strengthen the knees. Yeah. So come down. Come down, come down, come down. Take back your body. Create strength in your knees. You know, you can do this with a chair. You can do this next to a sofa. You can do this all the time. You can hold on to the floor. Try to sit up straight. Own this. Own your body. Take it back. Coming up. Feel the release. Only do it once today. Feet wide. Hands on your low back. Circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. On the kidneys. So You'll feel this in your shoulders. Don't, just soft. Hands basically aren't moving. It's moving from the shoulders. Scapula's pulling apart. The head is soft. The neck is soft. The tailbone is down. Low back is soft. Feeling some tension in your shoulders, possibly. Keep your palms on your kidneys. Go the other way. Starting to deal with a congestion in our neck and shoulders. So, hands today. So make bird feet. All right, and we're going to push them down behind. So, pull your tailbone down, come forward, lengthen your neck, drop your neck down. Drop your chin down. And now lift your chin and pull your shoulders away. Pull your hands behind. Stick your chest out. Pull your tailbone down. So it's not this, it's that. Notice there might be some tension. Chin up. So now you can look to the side like a bird. Pull your hands down some more. And turn them around. Come up. Reach up. And come down one more time and do that again. So chin down. Actually, you can come into a forward bend and stretch your hands up behind you. And now pulling your tailbone towards the floor, lifting yourself from there. Stick your chest up and your chin up, length, but keeping the length in the back of your neck. And now let your chin down. Pulling the shoulders away and back. Lifting the chin up. Looking side to side. And now, so rotating your shoulders up and bringing them down. Shoulders up to your ears. Let your arms swing from the shoulder joint, not the elbows. So the elbows, actually it's better, just we'll make circles here. So that will keep the elbows straight so you're not cheating. Alright, so you want to make circles, point your fingers, and make circles. Arms straight, using the weight of gravity to decongest your shoulders. Let your hands be long, let your arms be loose from the shoulders down. Go the other way. Let these tissues decongest, pull apart. Start to get into that stiffness and tension that you're holding. A little longer. Chin level. Make sure that your chin isn't down like this or you're not like grimacing. No grimacing, just smiling, enjoying your body. And now relax. Ah. Let it go. Feel the freedom from just a little bit. All right. So now, one shoulder down, one shoulder up. So pull your hand and your elbow here. So lift your elbow. Lift your elbow, but not lift your shoulder, and you can let your elbow bend so the arm hangs from the elbow. And this arm goes down. So pulling down on this side, but staying vertical in the center. Smiling. And now slowly change. So the elbow comes up, it's not the same stretch. Try to feel your tailbone pulling down towards your heels, lengthening your low back. You might feel some tension somewhere. Smile and try to relax it. Bring both shoulders back up. Move your rib cage. So side bending with your shoulders up to your ears. Side bending. And now like a penguin. So our shoulders up and back, shoulders up and forward. Backwards and forwards, penguin. You could probably add your feet to that. Make it fun. Relax. Ah. Let go. Let go of the tension. Okay, now we're ready to rock and roll a bit, huh? Right foot forward. Lunge. Okay, so how am I lunging here? I'm lunging with space. I'm not like this. So if you're like this, you don't really have a lot of room for your hips to move. What you want is you want your hips to be straight. So I'm going to lengthen this leg, right? The knee isn't locked, but it's back. The back knee has to bend. I don't want to be leaning to the side. If the back knee doesn't bend, it's very hard to do this. So you have to gently work into bending the back knee. So we'll just take a few breaths here. And pulse, bending this back knee, trying to keep your hips straight. The back foot is less than 45 degrees. It's actually probably about 15 degrees. I'm not rigid anywhere. Pushing down into the ball of the foot, both sides, both feet. The ball of the foot. There's of course more weight in behind you, but the more you push into the ball of the foot, the more you can bend that knee. The more freedom you get in your ankle. So bending the leg forward and back, just pulsing like this. Pulsing like this. Start to move your shoulders. So start to rotate your shoulders, just gently. Bend your elbows so that this rotation comes from higher. You feel the elbow connection, the elbows, the traction between the elbows is really helpful in oiling these joints. Turning the waist helps you open the hips. Back and forth. Back and forth. Come up. We'll do the other side. So we're just going to start, we're going to find it. Right? Find this back knee, forward, back. You can see that I'm not quite so straight on this side. Getting better, but not quite so straight. It's a lot harder for me to do this side. This side is a lot more blocked up, in my low back especially. On my left side, which would be your right side if I was mirroring you. So we just want to come back here. Now pulse, just pulse into that back knee. Just let it pulse. This knee is not locked. It's still bent a little. There's no reason to lock anything. No reason to lock your joints. Let those tissues open. Tissues open. Go back and forth. Tailbone long, tailbone towards that back heel, towards the front heel, towards the back heel. The tailbone pulls towards the front heel, towards the back heel. Doesn't stick out, ever. Doesn't have to pull down a lot. Don't make this hard. Just gentle movement, gentle. Just feel where you can open up. The softer you go, the more you'll open. So even this little bit of movement here, if this is what you can do, this is better than being awkward and having a grimace on your face. Right, so now we're going to start to turn so that the shoulder is coming in a diagonal, right? The shoulders are turning. So the waist is having to turn. And again, it doesn't really matter how much. We just want to open the tissues. We want to get things to start to move so that energy can circulate through them. Just even a little bit of movement can build a lot of energy. If you go to a place where it's painful and stiff, the energy is not going to be able to flow through. So you don't want to you don't want to go hard. You want to go as soft as you can go to still feel it. So only go to where you still feel the movement happening, and don't stretch beyond it, which is why we're keeping it moving. Keeping it moving. Just a little more. Okay, come back up. Shake it out a little bit. Okay, so here we're going to go like this. Now we're going to intentionally shift like that. So moving the shoulder. So my hands are following the elbow. Just moving out, moving back, moving in, moving out. I'm just going to do this for a while. So feel how the elbows have a relationship. So the hands are following each other. The back of the hand that's coming around, they're going the same direction. They're turning from the elbow. They're not turning from the elbow as much as they're turning from the shoulder. trying to keep this movement up in the chest as much as possible. Okay. I know this can get into your stuff because we have so much tension in our hips, but just make it flow, make it feel good. Make this feel good. If you think, I can't make this feel good, do less. Make it feel good. Make it feel like you're opening up. Okay? Make it feel like you're opening. So let it start slow. You're stretching the tissues in your hips. The arms are coming with it. The arms are swinging with it. We're working deep in the hip joints here. We want to be soft, soft, graceful. Moving these tissues, graceful. Doing this for a while. Slow it down. I'm talking to myself when I say that. I know that stuff is better when it's done more slowly. But sometimes I like to go fast and get the joints to warm up and move, and then slow it down and see if I feel more, see if I have more range. Okay, so this stuff is related to this movement. You might need a chair or something, and I won't do this a lot, but this was a really good daily movement for me to balance and make a figure eight with my hips. So my hip is turning, and I'm working deep into this standing leg, right? I'm using my balance because I'm talking. And the hands do this with a wall, right? You don't have to do it unless you want to challenge your balance, because balance is a good thing to gain. And your hands get to do a little dance that way. And you get a lot of strength in the standing leg. We're not going to do this for too long. Make sure that you're turning your hip, because a lot of people just do this. They just put the knee out front. So you want the hip to move. We've been stretching the knee. I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. The hip comes forward. The hands have to balance it so that when you're swinging like that, the shoulders have to move counter, and the weight shift in the hands has to be counter. And again, use a wall. If you do this a lot, this really opens up your hips. Because it works deep in the hip joint. It works deep in the hip joint of the standing leg, the leg that's moving. You get some stretching. You get stretching in your low back. Again, gentle, soft, and then challenge your balance with this. It's good to swing your legs. We haven't done a lot of leg stuff in a while, so and play with your balance, right? And you can do this holding onto the wall too. But the idea is not that you're controlling this, but you're just letting the knee and the hip joint be loose, and trying to not lean over too much if you're balancing. So you want to stay pretty vertical and be long enough in here that you don't need to be up on a stair to do this. You know, there's lots of, see people exercising like this and they're standing on a stair so that they don't hit their foot into the floor. Well, you can do it without hitting your foot into the floor if you get some length in your groins. That's enough of that side. Just loosening up the legs. Loosening up the legs, doing a little balancing. Okay. Check it out a little bit. See what's going on here. So just take a second, close your eyes, and see if you can feel more energy flowing through your sacrum. You can feel more energy flowing through your low back. There's a lot of work here in the low back. So, okay, so one foot in front of the other. So I have this line here on the floor. I don't need to use the line, but I'm lined up like I'm going to walk on a tightrope, but my heel is a little distance from the toe. So I want to stand up through the back leg. So I want to feel the back leg straight all the way up to my skull. So the back leg doesn't change. Hands are going to go here. And now, with 70% of the weight in the back, this foot is very light. So just feel that for a second. So stand into that back leg and play with your balance, play with your hips, like that. That's the first stage here. From this, let me show you from the side. So you can see that I'm straight. Okay, so now what we're going to do is hands here, elbows forward. And so you're going to look at a point, you're not going to move your head or your neck. So you're going to push into the back leg and make your spine long. I'm not doing this. I'm turning my shoulder and lifting my foot up. And here the front foot presses down and I'm making myself taller. Notice that my chin is down slightly, my shoulder is pulling back. My other foot, my back foot is pushing into the floor. Pushing down into the floor. Lengthening through the whole system. Every time I turn in either direction, I'm getting longer. My spine's getting longer. I'm not compromising that. That back knee is not bent, and the weight is pushing straight down into that back foot. The front foot is very light and I'm turning my body around. And my elbows and shoulders, and it's easy to lose your balance here. If you pull too hard, you will lose your balance more often. But the elbows and shoulders, right, are involved here. Otherwise, you don't have any traction in your body. So here, this gives you some traction, some lateral traction to be able to move like this. And the front foot on the floor just comes up to go to that side and pushes down to go to the other side. Okay, this is really good for opening the sacrum. We'll do the other side. So you can see that there's some space between my feet. So first, I'm not going to lift my foot. I'm just going to try to find the line up through the back. So you see if my weight is forward here, I don't have it. Everything is kind of moving. But if I find that line, this foot is very light, right? And I'm really pushing down into this leg. And now I'm looking straight ahead, so my head's not moving. And I want to move softly enough that I don't lose my balance. Stretching through that back leg. Stretching my whole spine. Facing you. Right? So now, lifting, turning, involve the elbows. So you have some lateral traction, which is good for your balance. And it's good for your shoulders, to get your shoulders involved here. So you want to move what you can, you want to start to move the body so that it starts to cooperate with itself. So that we're no longer a collection of parts, but that the body understands how the movement works. Okay. Feet a little wide. So we're going to go turning. So my feet are even now, right? They're on the same line. I have a fairly wide stance. Not super wide. But now I'm going to turn my hips this way. Turn my hips that way. Turn my hips this way. So my chest is facing, but I'm still facing, my face is facing forward. My weight is coming over this leg. My leg is bending. I'm not turning from the ankle though. My knees don't change. So I get a stretch across here. So gently. You can see the diagonal movement from my heel to my shoulder. And the arms are going to get involved. So kind of like they did when we were in the bow and arrow stance, in the bow stance. So let this pull on the tissues in your back when you do this. Turning, actually turning, stretching from the quad, from the inguinal area, from your crotch, from those elements that keep our hips tense from sitting all the time. Okay, so now we're going to go like this. We're going to go up and lift. Bend the knee. Soft. So I'm feeling traction between my hand and my foot. Straight line, and you can continue to extend so that you get a stretch soft. Make it a dance. It's always a dance. Balancing. Feel the connection between your hands and your feet, between your knees and your elbows. Extending from the shoulder and the hip to stretch apart. Not from the hand to the foot, but from the shoulder to the hip. So the stretch is in all the joints. Not just lifting, but extending from the center. This is all about extending from the center, creating space in the body. Reaching across the center line. If you can, otherwise you can reach towards the center line. But across the center line gives you better balance. Or not. Well-timed. Well-timed losing of the balance. Just letting the body open. Okay. Coming back. So let's come back to this position. The hands are going to come to prayer. So I'm going to be straight from the back. And then I'm just going to push forward and stay straight. So this line continues, it doesn't break. I'm lifting from my heel all the way up into my neck, letting my elbows lift, pushing my hands forward. So this point here, at the bottom of your little finger, at the crease in your hand here, that's what's pulling you forward from there. So, from the front, right? You want to get long, make sure that your chin is level. Keeping the body straight. Your weight goes from all the weight on the back foot to shifting your weight to the front foot, but you have to scissors your hips together or they start to do wonky things. So trying to pull your hips forward, but keep this gentle. So this can be really small, and I recommend that you keep it small and slow. So that you feel the tissue stretch. And don't make a big deal about trying to go forward too far. Feel that connection from your back foot through your spine, through the whole time. That's what's important. And then try to coordinate your elbows to help you pull forward, and your hands. So you're pulling forward from your third eye. And this point right here is what's pulling you forward, but this is pulling forward too. So it doesn't have to be a big movement. It can be, if you try to make it bigger, it's more problem with the balance. You're probably not going to be as effective with it as making it smaller and feeling how the movement works and where it comes from. Don't try to copy the movement, try to feel it and what it's trying to do in your body. Just a little more of this. On the other side. So get the line up first, right? And our elbows, the hands aren't that close to the body. Notice it's not in here, it's there. So extend down, extend your elbows down and your hands together. There's not a lot of pressure between my hands. I don't have to push. Scissor the thighs together to keep the length and turn your hips. And you might feel a chiropractic adjustment in your lower back. Chin level. Lifting the top of the head in the line. Slow it down. Okay, we'll move on. Okay. Soft. So my hands are like that. So push your fingers together really hard. And now just do that. And which is more sensitive? I think you'll find that the softer you are, the more sensitive you are. So feet about shoulder distance. So the hands are going to the elbows. Same deal, right? We're going to, elbows come forward. And then they fold from underneath the arms as the knees bend. Come forward and up. So continuing to keep this. I feel so far away from you guys here. And then here. So it's like you're shooting a basketball in slow motion. Up, extending. And down. So the weight is going into the balls of my feet. I don't want to lose my balance. I don't want my heels to come up. And just elbows fold back down. Lifting, lifting, extending, extending up softly. Elbows never straighten. Almost, but it's more important to keep the spine forward and let your weight come slightly forward so that you're not. And then here we come down. And there we go. Up. So this is a little tricky because we're used to like doing that, right? We want to do that. But no, we want to push down there and trust our roots to grow into the earth. So it doesn't happen overnight. You can't try to go too far forward. You have to just feel it and feel your balance forward. So get used to balancing on your feet and how you can stick to the earth. The wood element, your roots, coming down from liver 3 between your first toe and your big toe, your second toe and your big toe. Push down into the earth. And you can extend, exhale. So, inhale and exhale. Inhale. So now take it and drop it. And we're going to come down and come up and stretch into this position from here and come down. So you really have to be gentle with this, or you're going to end up doing something like this where you're, we're not making that kind of a spinal wave right now. The spine's staying straight. and shooting up from the earth. Usually we're making a spinal wave, but here we're keeping the spine straight, extending the tissues, coming down so that the elbows just unbend, extending the arms. So no tension, no pressure. I'm not working hard, it's effortless. Lifting. Playing with this balance on the balls of my feet. My legs are straight when I get here. Keeping my low back long. Extending all those tissues. Reverse it, so up and out, sinking down, up, working your upper thoracic in such a gentle manner. Okay, so now externally rotate your hands. Bend your elbows. So as you get, knees are bent, right? So we're going to come externally rotate. When you get to here, just bend your elbows. Don't have to come up here. Just when you get to here, just bend your elbows and put your fingers here. Lift, push your hands together. And now stretch up and exhale down. So lifting, slowly, 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 slowly. The hands come to Genji, the point between your traps and your shoulder. Elbows turn up. Okay, here we're going to do this. So keep not like this, from the waist. So just trying to turn your upper thoracic. So try to keep your hips level. All right, loosen up. And now, so push your hands together and lift them up, chin level. Don't do any crazy things with your head. My head is crazy enough the way it moves sometimes without my control, but I'm working on it, trying to make it better. We're not perfect. And where we hold our tension is a pretty good barometer of what we need to work on. And mostly what we need to work on is being softer so that the tension will release. Not working harder, working smarter. Gently touching. Staying there. Back of the hands come together. Push the back of the hands together a little bit to lift and make sure that your chin doesn't go down when you do that. Keep the chin level. Reaching up. Just a few more. Externally rotate. Lifting. Extending. Okay, last one. So bring your feet to shoulder distance if they're not, and shake. So just start to shake gently, right? So you don't have to shake a lot. You just want to shake from your ankles now. So just shake your ankles. Just start with your ankles. Let everything else go. Focus just on your ankle, shaking from your ankles. Notice if one ankle is looser than the other ankle. Doesn't matter. Keep your chin level. Keep your chin level. Don't let your head bounce all over the place. Just shake from your ankles and now your knees. So start to just gently shake from your knees. You don't have to bend your knees a lot. Your knees and your ankles. So feel if in your groins the tissues are moving a little bit. Feel what's going on in your low back. Is your butt starting to stick out? Are you starting to get tension in your low back when you do this? Just pull your tailbone down gently towards your heels and shake. So we're going to add an element of control. And when you pull your tailbone down, it lengthens your groins. And we want to get this length back, because this is where we lose it from sitting all the time and here, because we're always bent over. So we just want to shake the tissues. Shoulders directly over the hips. So not like that, but the shoulders directly over the hips and down. And just feel if you can shake your arms without moving your arms. So see if you can feel the bounce in your chest. Let your breath be free. Let your belly go. The tailbone is, focusing on those heels, but it's not a hard thing. Getting more length in the body, letting yourself get longer, taller. As you shake, the chin is level. And now you can start to move your shoulders too. So bounce your shoulders. Bounce your shoulders. Turn your waist. So shake really hard. Really hard. Really harder. Shake harder. From your feet. From your feet. Let your hands go. Let your elbows go. Let your shoulders go. Let the space underneath your armpits go. Make sure that your head isn't going crazy. So try to keep your neck long. So the shaking is happening through your spine. It's reverberating through your spine and not coming out your head. Okay, and now stop and close your eyes. And feel the chi. So we went a little long today. Thanks again to all of my benefactors, all of my supporters. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this class and telling people about it and widening the audience. If you think more people need this, then tell them, please. Please. So, one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And breathe, eyes closed. Feel your breath. Just be here, notice how you feel. So 12 circles clockwise. So 12 circles counterclockwise. Feeling. And drop your hands. Bring your feet together. And reach out. And pull down a pillar of liquid light. Like warm oil. refreshing, renewing you. And again, so reaching up effortlessly, pulling down the heavens. And one last time. So thank you.